So this week in history, it's a big one. In 1986, Transformers the movie is released to the United States theaters. And for a generation of nerds in their late 20s, early 30s, it's the only thing they remember about Transformers.
I was 4. I think I saw it.
I was there in the theaters with my cousins watching it. I was 16.
I didn't watch it till it was on HBO.
Yeah, I didn't watch it until much later. Like I didn't actually see it as a kid.
I was 16 years old, and
driving a Trans Am or a Firebird.
Actually, it was a 77.
Grease Lightning.
Actually, it was a 77 Celica is what I had.
They had Celicas in the 70s in the United States?
Yeah.
Seriously?
My first car was a 77 Celica.
Holy crap. I didn't even know that they were selling those in the U.S. at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, by the time I got it, though, it had a few issues. The alternator kept kicking in, so Dad had to install a toggle switch that had toggled alternator on, crank it up, then toggle it off again, so the alternator would stop kicking in.
So I didn't even know what it looked like. Don, that was actually a pretty sweet-looking car.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Basically, it was my wind charger, because there was a lot of similarities to wind charger, as far as the color anyway.
Holy crap, I had no idea that was a thing in the United States. Neat.
And I remember being in the theaters. I remember when Ironhide got killed, I was like just stunned. You were not expecting this, because I had just finished a season 2 or something, or whatever, not that much earlier, and you come in and Ironhide gets blown away and Prowl gets killed by Scavenger. You're thinking, oh my god, and then Prime dies, and it's like, no.
Don, I know
that Ironhide death was pretty brutal too.
It was.
Yeah, and that's just it. That was the first death, and it's like, and by the time when Prime dies, you're still so wound up over, and then in between, you see Wheeljack and Windcharger.
Did you scream and yell and punch and kick?
No, I didn't. I think. No,
I imagine it is more of a shriek. From
like Yosemite Sam cussing.
Yes.
Don has tears in his eyes.
No. I think I was too stunned by, first it was Ironhide, then you had Windcharger and Wheeljack, then you had Prime, and then it was like.
Actually, I think first it was Brawn, technically.
Well, I'm saying as far as just the major shocking moment. See, with Brawn, you kept thinking he would get back up because it's just a flesh wound, it's a shoulder wound. He didn't, but by the time you realized he wasn't back up, we lost Prowl to Scavenger, Ironhide, and Ratchet. And then you're so stunned when that happens. When you get to Prime's death, it just completely takes away any sense of
you have no reason to live at that point.
No. I'm just saying, you're so stunned. This is happening. You can't process it till you're out of the movie and you realize, oh my god, Prime is dead.
So it's interesting because I watched it as a child, not as a teenager, because of course I am younger than Don, as are most of us. And not that Don is, Don's not that old, but Don is slightly above the mean average age in the United States by 2 or 3 years at this point.
We're Transformers fans.
Yeah, for Transformers fans. But so it's really interesting. I'm not saying Don's old. Don is experienced. Remember that.
Whoa.
At HMRC4EVR. But it's interesting, the difference, because as a kid, I cried. I just sobbed when Optimus Prime died. It was the worst thing. But I went back as a person basically 16 years old, just like Don was, and got a third-generation VHS copy of it. And this was 20 years ago, so I can, oh my God, this was 20 years ago, so I can actually say this without any embarrassment. I watched it every day for an entire summer, like when I was out of school, like literally every day. My ritual was watching Transformers the movie. And I don't think it's a very good movie, now, as an adult who can, sort of think through how a movie is constructed and stuff. But at 16, it was the coolest thing ever. But when watching it at 16, I knew that all of the characters died. I knew who died. I knew all of that stuff. So I wasn't like stunned. I just thought it was cool. KEWL. And
stop that.
Yeah, sorry. And
Well, it's just I was just stunned because coming off the cartoon where no one died, and then seeing this, you really can't see it on screen. People that have gone back and watched it don't understand what it was like coming off the cartoon.
Yeah.
And seeing this happen on the screen, you really cannot process it.
I can't process that. I mean, I don't have the context as an adult to think about that. It wasn't that long, Don, before you saw that Optimus Prime was chopped up into bits and then reassembled, you know.
And then
Ultramagnus, or...
No. I'm talking about City of Steel.
City of Steel.
City of Steel, yeah. I mean, and then he's gone. The Prime turns gray, and he's just gone. And then you've got Magnus, who you've never heard of before, voiced by the always awesome Robert Stack, though.
Robert Stack was awesome.
He was, but you know, it's just you. I literally did not process what I had just seen, and so I'm driving. I'm actually riding with my folks, me and all of us there. Some car was getting fixed or something. I don't remember what. And it didn't happen to that night. It's just, I mean, just literally.
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy to think about it. But so that was in '86. This Week in History in '89. Transformers the movie is released in Japan. That was Matrix Forever, wasn't it, Don? Was that what they called it in Japan?
I think so.
And so at that point, there was already season 3 had already come out as Transformers 2010, and Scramble City was created as a stopgap between the two. And if you go back and watch Headmasters, Optimus is alive there because he basically, I guess, since he didn't die in Scramble City, right?
No.
He just left. He just basically said, "Hey, you're the leader now. I'm gone." So he was still around and kicking come time for Headmasters. I don't remember if they got Return of Optimus Prime or not in 2010.
No, they didn't. I've seen most of 2010, and pretty much
no Dark Awakening, no Return of Optimus Prime.
Not. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure our viewers will correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
But I don't remember that in 2010.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember that, or I'm virtually certain that they didn't get Rebirth.
Yeah, well, no, they didn't, because that's where Headmasters. That's where it branches off into the Japanese continuity.
Yeah, but I mean, even like after the fact, in some capacity, maybe on Laserdisc, but
as a bonus thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it certainly didn't happen in 2010.
Yeah,
but yeah, so it came out in 1989, and I honestly don't know how it's supposed to fit into continuity, if at all. It's probably not, but I may be wrong.
Yeah, because all of the Autobots who die in the movie are in Headmasters for at least a couple scenes.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm certain someone will correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I don't know how it's supposed to fit in continuity.
Well, now we had mentioned this briefly in pre-show. Didn't KISS players actually, using all of the media involved with KISS players, the radio dramas and everything, didn't they put everything in in G1 continuity together?
So
up to that point.
So Takara has this continuity. It's on their website. This timeline that's supposed to tie everything together: Car Robots, Beast Wars, all that stuff, and it's nonsensical. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Because I haven't read it in years, so I can't remember.
So I don't know. I don't know where Transformers the movie lies on that timeline, or if it does, because I certainly haven't memorized it. But yeah, they try to tie everything together as a continuity, and it's cute. You know, it's funny that they did that. But yeah, that's This Week in History.